Bradley says he's logging in now. Nice. Yay.
I haven't talked to Bradley in ages.
I know, I haven't either. He's been busy, and we've been busy, like the New York thing, and then he was busy right after that for the Sunday Fun Day, and then I went to Chicago for a year, it felt like. Yeah, I haven't talked to Bradley in a long time.
That looked like a blast, actually.
It was fun.
All the
Yeah.
stuff you posted, yeah.
Yeah, it was fun. I got to hang out a lot with Rob. We went to Veterans Day dinner, which was fun.
Yeah, awesome.
With him and Dan Youngs. I still can't pronounce his last name. Very nice guy, though.
Yeah. You freaked quite a few people out with your post on the kitchen table. I saw that one coming, though.
Well, that was at the dinner. Like Rob wanted so Rob had never met Dan, so he was like, "Well, I'll bring all of my stuff." And when he did, I was just like, "Let's record a video real quick." It was a lot of fun, though. Oh, it's Bradley Mike. Hi, Bradley Mike.
Move your mic or your face.
Or don't.
Or he can't hear us.
It's up to you. Oh, he can hear us. I heard the feedback.
Oh, okay.
He's got his Doom Cat shirt on.
Is that what that is? Cyclops cat?
It's a catodemon.
Catademon?
Yeah.
Those things are
It looks
cool.
like a cross between a cat and a berserker.
Nice.
What are the ones with all the eyes?
You're talking about a
Yes, I am.
yes, one of those things.
Yeah.
That everybody knows.
Floats with the eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah. That one.
I keep I gotta buy something for Bradley for Christmas, and I keep looking for Doom stuff, and every time I find something, I'm like, Bradley's already got this. I know he does. I'm just gonna give Bradley some cash or like a Bethesda gift card.
Right.
Either move your mic or move your face, Bradley.
My mic's not plugged in. I haven't put it back together since New York, so I'm putting it back together right now.
Yeah, same here. I had that problem. I had to start like a half hour ago. It was nuts.
I just turned on my laptop.
I think like I might break a rule and smoke in my room. Don't tell Rachel. Everybody's gonna go tell Rachel now. Yeah, she's home.
Yeah, and the other thing is, like, isn't this recorded?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
And could she not be listening right now?
She might be. She's watching. I think she's watching Dexter, which is amazing.
New one or old one?
New one. It's really good.
Is it out?
Yeah, it's on Showtime.
Oh my God, I didn't know.
It's like I think the third episode dropped today.
Oh crap, I did not know.
It's really good. Now,
I heard Ghostbusters Afterlife is absolutely amazing.
I haven't heard anything about it. I want to go. Is it out in theaters too?
It's out in theaters only.
Ooh.
Yeah, and I hear it's absolutely amazing.
Bradley, we can hear you, but your volume's super low. That's much better. Yeah.
Much better, yeah. And there's a big old mic stand in your face.
Sound like you're in the Migos. Skirt, skirt.
Skirt, skirt.
It's a family show.
When did that change? Is that like
no idea.
Facebook public to private?
Yeah.
Okay.
That screwed a bunch of people up.
Oh yeah.
That was fun.
I got groups through Facebook that have nothing to do with this that are just now figuring it out and switching over.
Yeah.
Why is everybody deleting all of my posts?
Your posts?
No, not really. That's just when that happened. It's like everybody was like, why is everybody deleting all my posts?
Yeah. That's nuts. Jim, Ashley, Simon, Evie, everybody says hello. So hi.
Hi.
Couple of people. So far it was Simon. Evie just likes Bradley Smile. Ashley and Jim.
We can't tell. His mic stands in the way.
Yeah, that's all right.
Looks like an awesome mustache, actually.
It is. I've been growing it for a long time.
Bradley has a growth. It's okay. We don't make fun of him.
It's taken a very
for
long
it.
time to style it in this exact format. That's not a microphone.
I have no idea what to talk. We talked earlier. Like I threw out doing stupid questions. What are you doing?
I'm tweaking my mustache.
Oh. Nice.
It took me a second to figure out how to get my hand there.
We threw out to like two people, or I say we. I threw out to two people about doing stupid question day again. But then
I thought you meant you threw out 2 people. And I was
yeah,
like,
well, I did
"Mom."
that too because that Van Hammer kind of thing.
Yeah.
But I forgot to make the post that said just come up with stupid questions. So we got like 2 of them.
What are the
are the
stupid
stupid
questions we have so far?
Okay. So the first stupid they're both from Sunday. The first stupid question's really, really long, so we're gonna skip it for right now. The second stupid question is, Matt, could you tell a fun story about hunting as a dad?
How
That's
is
not-
that?
I don't know. I don't know.
Your
Let's
stories
see.
about being an awesome father, spending quality time with your children, are
They're just
stupid.
dumb.
Some of the best memories I have has nothing to do with the hunt. It was taking them along with me and checking things out and looking at. Shelby and I drove and walked all around Golden Gate Park looking for Stonewall stores. And now she works there in the park at a museum. So whenever I need anything, I just call her up and say, "Hey, can you go check?"
We met both of your Bradley, me and you. We both of us. No, you weren't at Houston. I met both of your daughters now. They're both awesome.
Yes, you have met both daughters. Yeah.
No, I've only met one.
You and Bradley met Shelby. Kelsey's actually in the other room. She's come out for Thanksgiving.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah. Bradley, are you having a big Thanksgiving this year?
We are spending time with family at. So my mother-in-law is from Myrtle Beach. She actually went to high school with Vanna White, so that's a fun fact.
Nice.
Yeah. So she likes to go to Myrtle Beach for Thanksgiving. So she rented a big beach house. My wife is actually there already. And I'm going down with my father-in-law on Tuesday night to meet up with everybody. And we're going to spend through Saturday at this beach house. And then sometime during those couple days, I want to make a fun trip to all other places. But yes, we're going to be at Myrtle Beach for Thanksgiving with all the family. It'll be fun.
Bradley,
Yo,
where you live? I have no idea. I know.
I live in a little teeny tiny town called Spruce Pine. If you draw a line from Boone, North Carolina to Asheville, North Carolina, I am the exact midpoint.
I'm Google mapping.
It is a tiny town.
It is. It's very tiny.
They have like 6 stores. I went into one and I pissed off the guy that owned it.
We used to have 6 stores.
Did that guy close down? Was he like, shit, I'm so mad.
I'm closing my doors forever because of George Ward.
No more buying and selling video games here.
Rawr. No, that store's obviously I don't know for certain, so this is alleged. But I allegedly guarantee it is a front for something else because nobody's ever in there buying anything.
Well, when you go
Ever.
in there, he just pisses you off and you leave.
Yeah. This is true.
All right, so we're getting stupid questions now. I'm sorry, Bradley.
Oh, no, you're fine. I was going to say I picked up a Sega Dreamcast steering wheel from a thrift store and I took it there and I traded it for a SNES cartridge of Doom. So that was cool.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Those Sega Dreamcast steering wheels are hard to find, though.
Oh,
You-
all I wanted.
You might have got
That's
ripped
fine.
off on that one.
No, I was happy. I don't know if it worked or not.
All right. Cool. Yeah, somebody on Facebook Marketplace recently put up a bunch of Nintendo stuff, and then they were like, I got some Dreamcast stuff, and they just kind of threw it in, and it had like a Dreamcast keyboard and mouse, which is really hard to find. So I was really excited about that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's that sweet deal you got that you posted a while back.
Yeah. That was fun.
We have a techno surplus store in Sacramento, and I went in the other day because I hadn't been in a while, and there was a Morse code thing sitting up on a shelf.
Nice.
I was like, I haven't seen ham radio stuff. And I grabbed it, went up, said, "I'll give you $5 for this." Guy said, "Fine." So I went and sold it on eBay for a couple $100.
Nice.
Oh, you're a scalper.
Yeah.
My sister recently did something like that. Somebody in Charlotte that had more money than they knew what to do with was selling their blow mold Christmas stuff.
Ooh.
And they sold her this like giant lot of blow mold Christmas stuff for $80. And so far she's made I think 2,000 and she's still got like 4 pieces left.
Yeah, those are expensive. That was growing up. My Christmas tree was always that stuff, and it's like, they break. They're You know.
It's like half of Bradley's front yard is that right now.
Yeah, well, I'm afraid to put it out this year because it's like super popular.
Yeah.
Oh, is
and I
it?
don't want people to steal it.
Yeah.
Oh, because you had a lot.
Oh, I still do. Yeah,
And it was
it's
really,
locked-
really good quality, like
yeah, it's locked
vintage
in my
old stuff.
utility room. I'm really afraid of putting it out because I really think somebody's probably going to steal it.
Chain it down. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right?
Be all,
To know.
you know, the Christmas Carol thing where he's got the chains all around.
I'm gonna remove a comment here real quick. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
What is that on? Facebook? Where are you watching the comment?
Yeah, well, I'm watching on Facebook. I think somebody posted something and didn't realize something else was said earlier. I'll explain it later.
Oh, well,
So what are the dumb questions we have
I
so
wasn't
far?
watching the comments. So
Let's see, dumb questions. Let's go up to the top. Bradley has this huge smile. That's not dumb. How long does it take to dig a 3-foot hole?
Depends on the person and depends on the
depends
ground.
on what you're digging in.
Depends on how wide that hole is too. It takes a long time though.
It does.
Like way longer than you think.
Yeah. If you're digging in, and it also depends what you're digging with. Are you using a post hole digger, or are you digging with a shovel? And
Even with a
if you're
postal digger,
digging
it's gonna be
in-
like 5 or 10 minutes for 3 foot.
It's pretty quick, yeah. If you're digging in sand, your hole's going to be wider across than it is deep.
Yeah.
I've also found that if you're digging somewhere where you have permission, it usually goes a lot slower than if you're digging somewhere where you don't.
Yeah.
And it also depends on how obvious you're going to let it be after you're done digging. You normally go, and I have to clean this up afterwards.
Yeah. You made a good point about the sand. That's something that people fall into the trap of, like literally and figuratively, when they come to St. Augustine, is digging in sand. Like they take a shovel full of sand out, and then the sand, beside it just collapses. And they're like,
Golden Gate Park is
how do I?
like that on top of sand.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So, I mean, I've seen people sit for like an hour at the Fountain of Youth and they don't get anywhere.
Yeah.
You got to know how to dig that stuff.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah,
It's
build your
really
barrier around
wide.
your hole.
Slowly go down.
Let's see. So that was one question. Ziggy Mandover says, "Hello, George. I watch your videos. I think you're funny. Ziggy has a horrible sense of humor."
Oh, George, you are funny.
No.
What a great name.
You're a very funny. Yeah, Ziggy, like a little cartoon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why
I have a friend
is
in college named Ziggy.
really?
Yeah, I don't know if that was his real name or not, but everybody called him Ziggy.
I had a friend in high school named Ozzy. I just thought of Ozzy, and I thought you would like that, Bradley.
That's awesome.
He wore bathrobes to school. It was great. He was
Wait,
exactly the
time
kind of
out,
person
time
that needs
out,
that
time
name.
out, time out,
Okay.
time out. Sunday said she's too busy to be with us.
Oh.
She's commenting on. She's calling us. Why isn't she here?
Yeah, we invited Sunday too, but she was like, "No, I don't like you guys."
Yeah.
Says I like the shows better when I do them.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Everybody does.
me too.
It's true.
I would rather sit and watch. Brandy Bryan says, "Why is the jewel for Milwaukee blue instead of purple for amethyst?" Anybody got an idea? Anybody
Yeah,
wanna go?
because there are blue amethysts, and he probably bought a blue amethyst, and that's what JJP paid.
Chris Woodford had a really good, I don't remember what it was, but I remember he commented once on that question, and the answer made sense, and it had something to do with printing dyes, like printing ink, and how different printer inks run together and contrast and blah blah blah. But it made sense.
Some sort of red filter to make it purple, and that shows you something else. I don't know.
I don't know.
All right.
My favorite thing to play is how many different cities can I settle on and argue well in one night. So far, I'm at 4. Okay. I probed this morning at 2 a.m. and about 2 feet down, I hit something. So I dig down. Someone has already been here, but I dug down 2 feet and I touched something smooth. That's nice.
Well, what did you find?
I've done that too. But
And how do you know somebody else has already been there?
Yeah.
out of the garden.
Yeah. That is it so far. Okay, why isn't there a cask in St. Louis? Because that city sucks. I just pissed a lot of people off, I bet.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, they're
That's
there
probably a
should-
nice city.
There are quite a few cities that should absolutely have a cask.
I wish
That's
Detroit
the
had
top.
one. Like Detroit in the
Detroit,
80s?
Absolutely. Absolutely. St. Louis needed one. Something in Arizona,
So
or maybe Las
here's
Vegas.
Here's my personal
Cincinnati?
feelings about St. Louis. My wife has several different states and colleges outside of the country that she wants to apply for doctorate programs. One of them is in St. Louis. That is the only one that I said, absolutely not. I am not living in St. Louis.
But then there will finally be a treasure there, Bradley.
Oh. Yep, nope. I've been there once. Don't want to go back.
It's really, like, St. Louis is weird. It's one of those things, like, I hope somebody proves us all wrong. Like,
Yeah, me too.
that's an opinion that I really hope somebody proves wrong. I hope somebody pops up and, like, see that lamp that's nowhere else? Here's one in St. Louis. I hope someone does that.
That would be crazy.
The Chicago Ferris wheel, right? The big Chicago Ferris wheel from the Columbian Exposition of 1890 something, right? After they were done with that, they moved it to St. Louis, and the Judy Garland movie. They all go ride on the Ferris wheel in World's Fair. When they were done with it, they blew it up. But the axle of that Ferris wheel was this at that point in time the biggest single piece of metal anybody ever cast, right? And they couldn't blow it up. It was like armor, and then it just sort of disappeared. Nobody knew whatever happened to it. And then some archaeologists have figured out that it's buried down there near the big city park. They just dug a hole, rolled it in, and now there's like an elementary school on one side of it and a city park on the other, and they're working to get that out of the ground. So that'd be kind of cool, bit of history.
Yeah.
Why do they want it?
Bit of history.
Because Judy Garland axle thing. Come on.
The original Ferris wheel.
You know what?
Why don't they just plant roses on top of it in a garden, and they can say these are our actual roses?
They probably get him sponsored then.
Oh my god. That was a bad joke.
Yeah,
it was a little bit funny though.
You're welcome.
Good for tonight. Yeah.
I really wish, like, Expedition, everybody wants people to Expedition Unknown to make another secret show, but I wish they'd make shows like that where they go dig up Judy Garland's axle.
They probably will.
Well, like, there's a story in St. Augustine. We've got this big cathedral right next to town square, and there used to be 3 or 4 silver bells in it, like big actual cast in silver. And when Drake tried to sack St. Augustine, one of the monks took the silver bells and buried them somewhere in town square. And then the monk was killed, and nobody's been able to find the silver bells. Like, why are we looking for these casts? Let's go down to, town square and look for those.
Would work with those.
Yeah, you would think, right? And it's town square. Like, why haven't you get a GPR down there?
Yep.
That sounds like something Josh Gates would actually be interested in.
Yeah, you would think. I don't know. If you
got
his number,
before.
You got his number. We can call him.
He's gone after lost bells before.
If any of you out there can hook us up with Josh Gates, please let us know. We have a solution. We have something he would be very interested in.
Now that's hilarious. Steve, yes, that's correct. Meet me in St. Louis, right?
I feel like maybe the person who sent the initial email to Byron about St. Louis is the one who misspelled it wrong in the first place, and he was merely poking fun at them in his response. I never heard that before. I don't know that. Wasn't it? Who was it? Was it Johan that did the St. Louis thing?
Yes.
I don't know that he would misspell it.
He
Isn't he like an English teacher or something?
He didn't.
Yeah, I doubt he did. He wouldn't have. And he would have said that. He would have been like, oh, he was just poking fun at me.
Yeah. I mean,
That's so weird.
that's the email that's afterwards, but he was being quite open with the communications beforehand. So it was like everybody knew he was talking to Byron.
He just kind of stopped.
As much internet's forensic talent we have in these groups, I'm really surprised nobody's been able to track him back down.
Somebody has. I remember somebody saying they talked to Johan, and he basically said the same thing that he said before, that he was looking at Forest Park in St. Louis. I think it's Forest Park.
I just want the original
Some people
email.
got very, 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 very bad taste from Quest for Treasure.
Yeah.
That's it.
I mean,
Gone.
like, Johan's not that hard to track down once you, like,
No.
if you know anything about him, he's not that hard to track down.
Right.
I just really want to officially know what the original email was. That's what I want.
We can see if Chris probably call him.
There you go.
Excuse me, librarian. We need you to make a phone call.
Yeah, he's done that before. Would you dig somewhere if you couldn't get a permit, but you were sure you were right? No. I wouldn't. I mean, I guess it depends, right?
Yes, it does depend. But there's so many ways of getting around that by contacting groundskeepers, by contacting the building next to what you want to dig at. Right? And you tell people you're on a treasure hunt, they bend over backwards to play along.
Some people.
Some people.
Yeah.
Depends,
It really only takes one. That's true. It really only takes one person to say okay. But then again, like, there's places where you really don't need, like, permission. And
Right.
I mean, I don't want to lay out all of those places because they're really, like, it's not a black and white issue. But there's some places where you just don't need permission. You can just do whatever you want.
Yeah, but there are some places, absolutely not, no way, don't dig there, and don't even bother trying to get permission because you're not going to get it.
Fort Raleigh.
Yeah. Well, it's weird. Like, in the past, we're excluding Fort Raleigh from what I'm about to say, but what I'm about to say does not apply to Fort Raleigh. In the past, like, before Expedition Unknown got big, nobody in the community was really like, we got to contact the parks departments, and, like, we had contacts, and it was sort of okay.
Before Expedition Unknown, I always got permission to dig. I never had to get a permit.
I didn't. I was wherever.
No, I never. I wasn't going to go dig in San Francisco without somebody saying, "Sure, you can dig there."
Well, my thing in St. Augustine was, like, I lived here and I knew I had worked for Parks Department. I had worked for the Parks Department before, and I knew enough about who owned what land and what was controlled by who that I knew sort of where I could dig and where I couldn't. Like, I knew I couldn't go into the Fountain of Youth without permission, but there were places around there where you could dig without permission, you know? So, like, I never really worried about that. Unless somebody was like, go dig at the fort. And I was like, no. But most places that everybody was looking before, like pre-EU, you really didn't need permission to dig.
Right.
Now you do, but you didn't then.
Yes. Yeah.
Anyway. I think that was...
His mustache has another side.
Are you growing a goatee? Or is that, like, what's going on down there?
No, I shaved the sides. So yes, it is just the under chin, which Nick hates, but that's okay.
It looks very nice.
I like it.
I like it.
It makes it easier to manage.
Matt doesn't like it.
Yeah.
It did get kind of scraggly out here.
Yeah.
I bet Laura likes it.
Yeah, I suppose. I don't know.
You didn't even ask your wife.
No, it's my face. I don't tell her what to do with her hair.
Ashley is asking, has anyone ever extended the map of the Fairfolk migration across the Atlantic to North America?
Perhaps the route they're shown to travel away from the old world should be mirrored onto that extended map. I'm trying to...
Yes. Done it.
Okay, Matt's done it. I have not. It'd be cool to kind of see what you're... It'd be cool to have a visual of what you're talking about. So if you want to do it, or explain to me more how you want it done, and I can do it, because that, be cool to see.
You know what we're talking about? The map?
I know the map. I'm not exactly sure
You got to get the same...
how we mirror it.
You got to get a big map of the same kind of projection.
All right.
Okay? And then you just extend the lines.
Oh, I gotcha.
Into North America.
Gotcha. Okay. No.
Did it help? No.
I mean, that helps. I understand what she's talking about now, but I've never done it.
You did? I did that.
Curious to know, how many holes do you think you have all dug individually? No clue.
I can count mine because I haven't been in this game that long. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8.
I
8
have
holes.
I have no idea because I always like dig for other people, so I have no. There's a lot.
Yeah.
8 holes.
Let's go with
Yeah, I think so, if I'm counting right. Not including St. Augustine because I've done more digging there than I can count.
Yeah.
Because let me check this spot. Okay, 5 inches over. Let me check this spot.
Yeah.
Also depends on what you mean by hole, because there's some places where I go to dig, right, and it's like you go down this far and it's bedrock. There's nothing. There's it's like scrape a little dirt off and go. There's no dirt here to dig in.
EVS, why would you definitely not dig in San Francisco without a permit? And is it the same for New York? Like, I feel like it depends on where you're digging in San Francisco. If you're, I think, like, in San Francisco, just because they're so open, you should follow their rules. Like, if you're digging in a park, just get permission. It's not hard. You know? I would respect it just because of that. Why would you definitely not dig in San Francisco without a permit?
Without a permit. That's a double. What is that saying? Why would you dig without a permit? Why would you dig with a permit?
Why would you not dig? Wait. Okay, now I understand.
I'm confused.
Why would you not dig without a permit? Is that what it says?
Yeah.
Because why would you not dig without a permit?
Yeah.
You would
if you
not
don't
dig without a permit because they are very generous in allowing you to dig. That's why you would not dig without a permit.
That's the answer. That's the answer. You want to work within, their constraints and support them. And
like a lot of these are really big cities, all right? Like New Orleans, San Francisco, New York. I think Brian from San Francisco Parks even said, he's like, San Francisco's huge and they got a lot of problems and holes in the ground isn't really one of them, right? So I think a lot of us just blow this idea of I'm going to get arrested and spend the rest of my life in jail if I dig a hole in the ground, where the cities is probably not going to be that huge of a deal, but you do like a huge deal to you personally, but it will be a huge deal to other hunters. Like it just that disrespect paints other hunters in a bad light. And that's like, I mean, just think about the future. Like odds are if you dig a hole you didn't get permission for you're not going to find anything. And then you sour the hunt later on, I guess.
yeah.
Does that apply to New York? Yeah. New York's trickier than San Francisco.
New York's not as friendly.
No, they're not as friendly.
It also depends on where in New York you're talking about.
Yeah, and they're way.
It also depends on where in San Francisco you're talking.
Well, like New York's got 100 different people to get permission from.
Yeah.
You know, they got like the Parks Department and then conservatory departments and all kinds of shit. It's hard.
Yeah.
I don't even know where to start to get permission to dig a hole in New York.
It also depends on is your spot in a park? Is your spot on somebody's property? Is your spot, on a beach where you're allowed to dig?
Yeah.
You know.
And what's weird, like if it's not a park, I mean, like somebody owns every piece of land. You know,
Yeah.
there's nothing that's really public. Like somebody owns the land, so I don't know.
Even public,
Just rambling.
owned by the city. So.
Yeah, if it's public, it's owned by the city. If it's not owned by the city, it's owned by somebody privately somewhere.
Yeah.
Let's see. Without a cask, what level of theoretical proof would you need to believe a solve or a set of? That's a good question.
I would not believe a solve unless a cask was found. I would buy into a theory and get excited and try to help dig, but
Yes.
I mean, without a cask in hand, I can't ever say I would say that yes, the solve is accurate.
Well, I don't know if Cleveland and Chicago weren't out of the ground and somebody just showed you their solutions and we're like, I think the cask is right here. That's pretty. I mean, their solutions are pretty. You know,
because we can do that in San Francisco in 8 places.
Yeah, but you can't do it as well as you can in.
Yes, we can. Yes,
Okay.
we can.
Yeah, in retrospect, it's easy because we know they were there.
8
But
places we can do it in San Francisco. So
All right. I mean,
Is it-
No,
Side is
if you don't
2020?
got a cask, you don't got a solution.
I'll go with Bradley. You'll get me really excited.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
So,
Like New York. Before we went to New York, I was sold on Coney Island. I am no longer sold on Coney Island. I was there in Coney Island. I had a blast in Coney Island. It
What
no
is
longer-
it? What is it with the two of us? Like, we can never agree on any of these.
It's true.
why don't you guys just assume I'm always right? I don't understand that. So,
Let's see. How do you try to solve these cask locations? I feel myself that the first half is easy. It tells you the city and the location. Start, then use the verse to your dig location. Then you look at the image to find hidden images in the image to prove you are right. I feel like none of the ones that were solved work that way.
no, they do.
Okay, the first half of something tells you the city? Like, where in the Chicago or Cleveland verse did it tell you Chicago or
Windy
Cleveland?
City, there's a windmill,
Yeah, but
there's a
that's
river.
not the first half of anything. Like, that's just
All right. Yeah, I think when he's saying first half, he means your first steps are.
oh. So what I took by that was I've seen a lot of people post where it's like this line just takes you to Brooklyn or whatever. You know,
no.
like if we're starting to, if we make verse lines that vague where it's just pointing to, you know, a city or a huge area or whatever, then none of it matters. You know,
I've always thought image gets you to the place where the verse starts.
Yeah.
Verse gets you to where the cask is, and then the image confirms it for you.
Yeah. I mean, that
That's
could
my working theory.
be
Does it work
reversed
every
too.
time? Don't know.
Yeah, it could be reversed too. Like, didn't John say somewhere like sometimes the verse ends and the image picks up? Like, it could work in reverse.
Yeah.
I
bet you that's Houston.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, we get into these set ways of solving.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know.
That doesn't help.
No. So yeah. What's next? I don't think the map. It's
Caroline asks, what is your favorite Thanksgiving Day side dish? Oh, man. So mine is my mother-in-law makes this green bean casserole, and it's got this, like, really crispy, crunchy top layer. I don't know what it
Cheesy
is.
bean.
What's that?
Cheesy beans.
Sure.
Full of
Wait.
cheese.
No, there's no cheese.
Wait,
It's,
what?
Oh, okay.
What is this thing that
yeah,
we're
there's no
making?
cheese. It's a green
Green bean casserole, crispy onions.
It's creamy. Yeah. It's got crispy onions on top. Oh,
Yeah.
it's so good.
Yeah, you buy them in like a can. They're like almost like a potato chip, but they're onions.
French's deep fried onions.
Yeah, they're so
Yeah, they're really good. Yeah.
My wife likes that, but it's cheese sauce instead of that's the beans are in the cheese sauce, and onions are on the top.
Oh,
Nice.
But I like
That sounds good too.
the green beans, bacon, some vinegar, and it gets you a nice tangy green bean, some sugar.
Oh, see, I don't like vinegar in anything.
Oh.
I'm not a vinegar dude.
Hey,
Are
how
you
do
from the
live in-
South? How do you eat barbecue?
You live in the
I
Carolinas.
don't put sauce on my barbecue. I eat it like it comes. It tastes great the way it is. It doesn't need sauce.
Okay.
It doesn't need sauce.
Why are we friends? I don't remember.
You cut him off now?
I like stuffing, which is weird because it's the bland, boring
love
shit.
Stuffing.
Yeah.
Love stuffing.
I like stuffing if it's the stuffing that's cooked inside of the turkey.
Oh, I don't. Because you can't
That's
bring it
good
up to temperature correctly without
Yeah.
drying out the turkey.
Yeah, it's like cook them separately.
Yeah. But if you use the stock, like the drippings from the turkey in the stuffing, it's pretty much the same thing.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
We're using
Yeah.
that for the gravy for the mashed potatoes. Go on.
Oh yeah.
There's a lot. We have a 26-pound turkey this year. There's a lot of drippings.
Yeah.
Let's see. Turkey versus prime rib roast. This is not a question. That's not a question. It's Thanksgiving. We have the turkey.
The answer is yes.
Yes.
Prime rib, anytime other than Thanksgiving, or both.
And a ham.
What's that restaurant
Prime
that
rib,
we went to
turkey.
with that giant serving of prime rib?
Martin's?
Yeah.
That was very good. Yeah.
East Coast, West Coast then. So
Was it ever explained why there's only one in Canada? Why is Montreal so important for Byron Price to cross the border for that one? Well, because Canada, nobody wants to go to Canada more than once.
I think
That's
one
probably
of the,
not a good answer.
It's
You alienated first a state and then an entire country.
Well, it's like, it's not really a country. It's like just a northern state
it's
like we
it's,
forgot
that no
that
one
man-
lives in.
it's
we
the
forgot
United
to
States
annex
hat.
Yeah,
You
it's
know?
the United States hat.
Yeah. So,
This is something like 99.9% of Canada is unoccupied and uninhabitable.
airs.
It's the United States head ward.
Yeah.
That's
Okay.
that question is never explained. However, it's important to note that Montreal is where Sean Kelly's from, and Sean Kelly went to school directly across from the Leg Eater. So does that have something to do with it? Maybe.
And we know that JJP suggested one in the town where he was from.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I mean, like, if you say there are 12 casts buried in all of America, you can sell a book to all of America. But if you say that there are 11 in America and one in Canada, you can now sell to 2 different continents. Not continents, countries.
Countries.
There you go. Good job.
Thank you. I'm smart, I promise.
I am smart too. Also,
Not at all.
When they're not trying to survive the cold, do they read?
There was like an article or something that where it was very important that they put one in Canada.
Yes.
Yeah.
That was, and then they had to go back and no, the publisher wanted to pull out all the Canadian ferries out
Yeah.
of the guide or something like that at one point.
Yeah.
well, what would our French connection be if it's not New Orleans? It would be Montreal, right?
Montreal. That was a bad Montreal impression I just did, so I hope nobody heard it.
No, nobody did.
Good. Moving on. Mike Stewart just says gravy. That's awesome. Do you know I'm the one that found the new? Let's skip that. How does someone that really, really has some compelling solves bust through the whole cask in hand cliche? You don't.
You don't. Cask in
don't.
hand. That's it. Period. That's Byron's rule.
Yeah. Like,
Okay.
if you want to prove that you're right, that's how you do it. If you want to be compelling, you can be compelling. There's a lot of compelling stuff out there for cities that don't have casks. You know, just be compelling. But if you want to be right, you go find a cask.
And if you throw it out there and somebody else takes your stuff and digs it up, they found the cask.
No,
Yeah.
this is he says if you're from Detroit, you go to Canada all the time from age 19 to 21.
Because it's legal
I think
drinking
if
in
you're-
19?
I think so, but I also think if you're from Detroit, you go anywhere you can.
Yeah.
Other than Detroit.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's just me.
I don't know, man. I have this weird feeling I would really like Detroit.
Yes.
I have a question about Detroit. Is there really a statue of RoboCop there? And if there is, can somebody send me a picture of it?
There's a statue
Yeah,
of
I'm pretty
RoboCop
sure
in
there is.
Detroit?
Yeah,
That's
I'm pretty
awesome.
sure there is. Yeah.
I heard there was.
Is there like a Ed 209 too? That would be cool. Climb on Ed
He's not-
209?
He's not. He doesn't deserve a statue. He's the villain.
No, but he's awesome.
Ed 209 can't even walk down steps. What
But
is
he's
awesome?
awesome.
No, he's
He
not.
doesn't need to walk down the steps. He just stands up and kills everybody.
He's awesome at clearing your boardroom.
Yes, yes.
He's good at that.
Matt's like, I'm lost. I have no idea what we're talking about.
Matt knows.
No,
Ed
he's
209.
probably
No,
Googling the
currently,
RoboCop statue.
It was in a museum, and currently they don't have room for it, and they are looking for it's huge. It's like 11 feet tall bronze.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
They're looking for a buyer?
No, they're looking for a place in Detroit to display.
Oh, in Detroit. Shit.
I need to buy a house in Detroit.
Put it in
They're like
Evie's
$1
house.
now, right?
Put it in Eve's house. Yeah, that'd be great. Just in her front yard. Then we can all
Yeah.
visit.
Eve, buy the RoboCop statue.
Or just have it donated because they don't have room for it. It's like that Rocky statue that was in Philadelphia and then they took down and then they put it back up or something. I
They
don't know.
moved it. They were like, those are our picturesque stairs. Really, we want Rocky at the top of them. It was a cool movie and all, but
Oh, he's not there
they
anymore?
just moved it over to the side.
Oh, he's like in like the cul-de-sac in front of it?
I haven't seen where they moved it to, but they moved it to nearby.
Because my wife was just there for to study a display, whatever, an installment for an artist she's studying, and they have a Rocky run each year, and so they were having their Rocky run, and it's like at the end, people will like run up the stairs and do the Rocky pose.
That's where it used to end at the statue. That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh. Man, I want a RoboCop.
She makes a mean turret.
Chris Bradley says it seems a bit frustrating that everyone knows where it is, but how does that play out for the one person that really does have a compelling solve when you can't dig? Like, everybody thinks everybody thinks they know where it is, right? And that's why you got to have a cast, because generally I haven't, like, I don't know, even compelling stuff, you can never be like, oh yeah, that's where it is.
I've had 20 compelling solves for San Francisco, and none of them have been right.
Those 2 C's in Boston were really compelling.
Dude, it was at 2 C's. I guarantee it was dug up the 2 C's and then taken over to the baseball field.
God, don't start. That Reddit, oh my God. Don't start with the EU stuff is fake again. So it's.
That's how compelling the 2 C's was.
Oh God.
That's the one. That's the one EU faked it all. I would believe if somebody was like, I saw them dig it up at the 2 C's.
Josh Gates just really, really hates Charles Gate. That's what it is.
That's what it is. Yeah.
Let's see.
Jim says now I just want
invested in
stuffing,
property
gravy,
in
and
the
beer.
north end of Boston.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yep.
Jim says I just want stuffing, gravy, and beer, and I'll be thankful. I think we all agree with you on that.
Let's see. Ziggy said you just ignored my question for no reason. Yeah. Let's see.
Eve says she'll send a picture of RoboCop for us. She said she's also played paintball in the building where the original was filmed, told not to shoot out the windows as people will shoot back. Oh, goodness.
Nice. Detroit. Gotta love Detroit.
Oh, goodness. That's really cool, Eve. That's really cool.
Yeah.
I saw those movies way too young. Absolutely loved them. My dad always let me watch the movies I was not supposed to be watching. And especially RoboCop 2, man. RoboCop 2 was...
It was vicious.
Whoa. Yeah. Yeah, those are great movies.
My grandfather...
I love the RoboCop 1 where they came around the corner and there's Elvis over there in a box and they just go right on by.
My grandfather used to put out slot machines and stuff when video poker was legal and video poker machines when video poker was legal in South Carolina. And he used to have this friend, a lot of friends that own gas stations because that's where he put his slot machines. Gas stations used to have video rental places. He'd take me in every week and let me rent like 15 or 20 videos. And I rented Hellraiser 1 and 2 and I was like 10 years old.
Nice.
And then like when I left to come back to Florida, they had to return all the videos and I hid Hellraiser because it had hell in it. And I was embarrassed for them to see that I rented a movie with hell. And ended up stealing Hellraiser 1 and 2 from a video rental place.
Heckraiser.
Nice.
Heckraiser.
Heckraiser.
Easy.
Like-
you can buy a probe with a camera on it for $30 on Amazon.
Well, not a probe, but you can buy an endoscopic camera. You have to get like
Probe, it bends, but it's a probe.
a really bad probe.
I mean, when the aliens probe you, do you want them to use that or do you want them to use a bully probe?
Somebody did make a probe with like that stuck into a piece of pipe, like the pipe fit tight around the probe, and then make a probe down and pull out the probe and put the camera down.
Yeah, which is really important, like if you're digging again in sand.
Yeah, it's useful.
Yeah, and they also blew air down it. They had canned air and blew air down to get a little space at the bottom. Yeah.
Who found Boston and told Josh Gates? Is that person active in this group? No. What? Yeah. I don't know.
Kind of.
Kind of. It was a guy named Jason Krupat. He has an account. I don't know. He's probably one of the people that we pissed off.
Simon says, what percentage are cask wanters versus puzzles carers? Carers.
It's people. What percentage of hunters want a cask versus which percentage want the puzzle solved? And I think like that percentage changes The longer someone is in the hunt, the less they care about finding a cask.
I think that's true.
I feel like once you get past the 2-year mark, you don't necessarily want that cask as much as you want someone to solve that particular puzzle.
Well, yeah, somebody recently posted, how much would you pay for a book with all the solutions? And like everybody's like, I would pay nothing because that takes away all of the fun.
Yeah.
The whole point here is for us to solve the puzzle.
And then the next question was, how much would you pay for a book of my opinions, not mine, authors' opinions on the solutions?
So many people are writing books. It's crazy. Josh Cornell, Josh Cornell was writing a 400-page book just on San Francisco.
But he's also digging up all 12 of them with a toy shovel.
There is one guy who is legit writing a book that started out about The Secret and he's basically ditched The Secret completely and is writing a book about Byron Price's history. And everything that he says about it is interesting, and I can't wait for that to come out.
That sounds cool.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Like he started out about The Secret and started learning about Byron and was just like, this man is more important, and he wanted to write a book about him.
That's awesome.
The Secret of Byron Price.
There was a documentary. That was James Renner's documentary title.
The Secret of Byron Price?
Yeah, that was...
Oh.
We own that domain as well. So if you write that book, we can give you the domain.
Bradley, what's over your right shoulder that has a hat on top of it?
That is my original Doom Marine style helmet. And he's wearing an Ozfest hat. Cool.
It kind of looks like the first 2 Fallout helmets.
Yeah, I could see how you think that because of the shadow.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can still see it.
Yeah. I always check out what people have on their shelves in the back of Zooms. It's a habit now.
Yeah, this is my Aussie shelf, and then these 2 are my Doom stuff. And I didn't have room for my Doom helmets over there, so they're on the Aussie shelf.
I had no idea there was that much Doom stuff in existence in the world. So
There's a lot.
Yeah.
Try looking for birthday presents for Bradley, and you will realize how much Doom stuff there is. I think I found one thing he doesn't have.
And didn't come back after that. So,
yeah, my favorite thing is that I just recently got. Let me see this side. He's down here-ish. I don't know if you can see him. This little dude.
little guy with the horn.
Yeah. It's the icon of sin from the video game. It's really cool.
Sin's cool.
They went out of stock before I could get one, and then they just popped up in stock. So I bought 2, and then I sold the second one for double of what I got the first one for.
Why? You both are scalpers. I hate you guys.
Well, I had to make my money back. I couldn't afford it. I wanted one.
Chris Bradley says there's probably people that solve the puzzle but can't get closure because you can't dig or even be recognized as finding it because of the cask in hand. Cask in hand in Boston proves there's no genius in using a construction crew. Like, I get it. People don't think that Jason Krupat was a genius, but he has a cask. And no one else does. So
he figured everything else out. I mean,
I won't go that far. He got the cask. In the end, he got the... How much did he solve? I have no idea.
He got the location.
He got it done.
So I watched your video that you made after you interviewed him.
Yeah.
And according to the information that you shared there, I was far more impressed than I was before that interview.
I was far more impressed with what he said, right? Like I was, what he said, his whole story makes sense. His whole story of how he got from point A to point B to the end makes sense. Yeah, but there's 100 things that he did take from other people. Like he started out in Boston because of other people's work, and at this point, everybody is using everyone else's information. So,
the question you just read about, I have a solution, but nobody believes me kind of thing. Well, read that question again.
There's probably people that have solved the puzzle but can't get closure because you can't dig or even be recognized as finding it because of cask in hand. Cask in hand in Boston proves there's no genius in using a construction crew.
Okay, so if you want recognition, you got to put it out there. And if you put it out there, it's going to get torn apart. And if it's a good solution, it's going to stand.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's a whole nother point, because there's the people. We were going back to his comment earlier about who wants a cask versus who wants to solve this puzzle.
Right.
Well, there's the people that do just want to solve the puzzle, and if they have an idea, they just throw it out there. And then there's the people that want a cask, they hold on to it and don't share with anybody, and they believe so strongly that they're right, which is because they have so much confirmation bias for themselves, because they won't share with anybody else, and we can't give them feedback. They might be right, and if they shared with the right people, it might get dug up. And will somebody else have the cask? Sure, but they will be the person that came up with the theory, and all of us will know it, and they'll get that recognition if that's what they want.
Yeah, he followed up and said it stinks though, because there were people in February videoing right on the ball field and they didn't get any credit, which that's not entirely correct. Like, most of the community knows about. Well, they know his name now, but we call him HC because he asked us to. Most of us know about him. Most of us know about Reddit. Like, the vast majority of people do, and he gets a lot of credit.
Yeah.
But he didn't get the cask, and you know, that's okay. In the end, what's important is the puzzle got solved. Like, people assume that Jason Krupat, like, I don't know, like he's treated like a god or something, but nobody really cares that much about him as a person. They care about the puzzle being solved. Right. So he's got a cask. He's not trying to use it to get famous. He's not even saying anything. Like, I don't understand. I genuinely don't understand where the problem is with this. Like, did he steal stuff? Maybe, whatever, but it was public, but you know.
The problem is, okay, and it's like when people say, I got this solution and I can't get recognized for having the solution to the thing, all right? Krupat found the cask or got the cask, but then the solution that they put out on EU
was wrong.
And everybody caught that. And that was the biggest issue.
Yeah.
That solution does not work with what we know of the puzzle. And we know a lot about how the puzzle works. And if somebody throws an idea out there, you can judge that idea against how we do know the puzzle works. And right off, we were able to say the EU solution for Boston stinks.
Yeah.
Something's the matter with it. We didn't know whether it was correct. You know, it's like, okay, can't argue with they got a cask. But and then later we found out why it was not right.
Yeah.
You know, so.
And it seemed like a lot of the stuff that EU put together, like the bridge thing or the Columbus thing, was they were just trying to fill gaps in stuff that Krupat didn't he didn't know.
Didn't need it. Find the location.
He had a very I really want him to tell the story, but he had a very valid reason for standing in front of that ball field where he said it just made sense. And then, like, the stuff before it, he had no idea. And that's really most of the stuff that EU was just like, oh, it's Christopher Columbus or whatever, you know? They were just filling in gaps.
Yeah.
I don't know.
The fact is, if they hadn't torn the park apart and dug with a bulldozer, they probably wouldn't have pulled, that cask would probably still not be found.
Look,
He was there on the site, tell them to look for it. They did dig it up. He gets the cask.
If he would not have had that conversation, that cask would have been lost forever.
Absolutely.
So Simon made a good comparison, and he made it in a way that most of the people reading the comments won't understand, but the three of us will. So do you think the rabbit medallion winner was better than being a physics teacher that worked out the cipher and tried to locate the shadow location? So he's talking about Masquerade, right?
Yes.
Masquerade was cheated.
Very much so. And everybody
knows it. Yeah. And everybody knows that the physics teacher actually solved it, tried to dig it up, and left it in their spoils, and the dude came and whatever. But that's a really good example. Like, that dude cheated and everybody knows it. His reputation is ruined. It's different from sort of the Jason Krupat Boston thing. Even if Jason, and I'm not saying it was, but even if Jason's stuff was wholly lifted from Reddit, it would still be different. because that was information that was given to the community openly.
Yeah.
Right.
But yeah, everybody knows that the dude cheated at Masquerade. Everybody, and the physics teacher does get the credit.
Absolutely, and that's a lot like the Dr. Gay. I mean, before San Francisco happened, that man had a positive reputation for treasure hunting. At least so people say. And after that happened, that man, that man ruined himself.
Yeah.
For treasure hunting, no matter what. Even if he were to find something legitimately somewhere down the lane, it would be tainted because people would assume that either it's fake or that some other cheating happened.
Although last I heard, we are still supposed to be let in on the secret of what he did, why he did it.
Eventually.
That it's all a good thing.
Yeah, like his companion Caspius, I think is how you pronounce his name. It's in French, whatever. Has a blog, and he occasionally brings up Gay, and he gets bombarded by. I guess there's like 3 or 4 secret hunters that still read his blog, and he gets bombarded constantly for it. Like, when are we going to get to see this? Because now the official story is, while the cast was fake, and Gerald Gay didn't know that the cast was fake, the actual key is the real key. And like, they're saying that they think Byron broke this cask and then had a new one made and put that one in the ground. Like,
wow, they're still trying.
But they won't let anybody see that key, but it's completely legit. It's the real key.
What are you playing with in your hands? What is that? It looks like a bat wing or something.
Oh, it was fuck, man, I feel lame saying this. Where's the rest of it? So it's Billie Eilish. I got this for free, and it's like a bat wing for Billie Eilish. One of the wings is missing.
Nice.
So yeah, it's Billie Eilish.
Nice.
Matt's like, what's a Billie Eilish? Yeah.
No, I'm aware.
Okay.
Dude, I work at a university.
So
that's true. Yeah.
What I'm saying is, rabbit medallion in hand is what I'm hearing when I hear cask in hand. Not in relation to Boston. I mean, cask in hand is about material gain. No, what we're saying is that, yes, the Masquerade was solved because the rabbit was dug up. So there's no questions whether or not that was the correct solve, but the person who has possession of it cheated, and we all know it, so they're not getting
There's a huge difference, though. There's a huge difference in that Kit Williams is still alive. Kit Williams was able to say the physics teacher solution was correct. Kit Williams was able to definitively say that a solution is correct and Byron's not. So I'm sorry for people that cask in hand isn't good enough, but the only person that knew the locations of these casks is dead. So I mean, like, I don't know
and the most
what else to do.
Thing there is that's not our rule.
It's his rule.
That's Byron's rule.
That's true.
Byron made that rule. He changed the rule in the book. He let everybody know, and then basically he passed away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Michael Page says, do we as a group have a way to pass what we think is a possible solve to this group? Then do we have a way to pass that info to a dig team at that city's location? I used to say that if you had a solution, you could send it to me, and I would try to help you if I could, or I'd send it to, but I get so many that my default response now is just post it and try to find, like, post it in one of the city pages, because there's locals there that'll help you.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm digging my own. I don't have time to, it takes me 2.5 hours to get to San Francisco.
So I'm
going there to dig. I'm going to dig my own.
I got so much stuff going on in life that it's like, I can't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's been, I don't know, 2 months, 3 months. When last time I dug. So.
Oh, I haven't dug in so long.
Hopefully I'll be digging later this coming week.
Yeah.
In Myrtle Beach?
No. But I'm not going to say where I'm going.
Okay. Do I know where you're going?
Yes.
Let me narrow it down. Is it on the east part of the country?
I don't know.
It is.
Okay.
It is the Midwest. It's in St. Louis.
St. Louis? Yeah.
It is. Dang it.
Well, he said that in one of the paintings there's an arch with an arrow, and he's just going to dig up the left footer of the. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Gateway Arch.
That's pretty much it. Yeah.
Okay.
Chris Bradley says there was a newspaper article that stated if Byron was hit by a bus that one person had access to the solves. Yeah, but they don't.
It was also stated that they knew where all the jewels were, and
Yeah.
the solves were with the jewels, and they didn't know where the jewels were. They certainly
Cameron
didn't know where the
says,
solves
"Hey
were.
guys, how's it going? Hey Cameron."
And that's as far as we know. Like, maybe somebody has the solves, but they don't. If they do, they don't want anybody to know. So, like, I don't know what to tell you. Like, if
I'm sure. My guess is when they were cleaning out the office, that folder got thrown away.
I am 100% in believing in so all right. So for those that haven't watched the New York meetup, we learned a story, and the story that we learned was that when Andy and Brian met with Byron expected the results to be in the safe deposit box, and they weren't there. And the comment was made, oh, they must, I think he said it, that they must be like in a suit jacket pocket somewhere. I must have left them in a suit pocket, jacket, whatever I'm trying to say, somewhere. And then later down the road, when Renner was doing his documentary, I think is when it happened. Sandy somewhat mentioned, there's no confirmation of this part of the story. But apparently at some point, Sandy mentioned that she found something in a suit jacket pocket, and it was like just a list of cities, and she didn't know what it was, and she threw it away.
yeah,
And being that story was out before the Brian and Andy story broke, I believe that that's where the solves were left, and the solves are now in a trash can somewhere, and nobody knows.
I don't remember where I originally heard the suit jacket pocket throwing away list of cities things, but I remember it was a long ass time ago.
Right.
It was because I haven't listened to the New York thing, and I know that story.
Yeah. I don't know. Anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they're gone. And if they're not gone, nobody's going to share anyway. So let's just say they're gone.
Yeah.
Any more questions? I got to go pretty soon.
No.
It says PSA, don't watch any videos from that SUV incident. They are horrific. Okay. I don't like watching bad videos, so I won't do that.
Oh, you don't know about Milwaukee?
So you've missed the podcast then.
I'm sorry?
You don't know about Milwaukee?
About an SUV incident?
Yeah. This is right outside of Milwaukee. They were having like a Christmas parade, and somebody drove an SUV through it and like hit a bunch of people. It's pretty
That
bad.
was on a podcast?
No.
I was going to say, like horrific videos.
It was a live stream I did, a couple hours ago. We were in the car. No, it wasn't on a podcast. It just happened.
Oh, I thought that's what Matt was saying. No, I don't know
If
anything
you
about
don't
that.
like
I'll be
horrific
honest.
videos, skip the podcast.
Yeah, when there's videos like that, I'm not interested in clicky clicks.
Yep,
Because that's not something I want to see.
me too.
During the Renner interview with Sandy, and she goes into it about when Byron had a shovel and was going to bury a cask. What one was it? The interview was cut off on YouTube. The interview wasn't really cut off on YouTube. So there's a whole documentary that Renner did, and only certain, like, he doesn't have permission to release it, and only certain clips have ever gotten out, and that one's one of the ones that got out.
I've seen the whole thing. I have no idea where I saw the whole thing.
John probably shared it with you. John had a link.
That was it. Okay, great.
Yeah, I have not seen the whole thing.
Yeah, it's okay. It's
I
not.
understand why it's not fully released.
It's
From
not
what I
groundbreaking.
understand- Yeah, I was gonna say, from what I understand, it's entertaining, but it's not going to make you go, oh.
Yeah, it's
Entertaining. It's a little bit insulting,
yeah.
and it's really, really, really out of date.
Yep. I mean,
Yeah.
they spend a good deal of time looking for Boston, right?
Yeah.
If I remember
Well, I know-
correctly.
I know two people that I've talked to personally that were interviewed, and they were not very pleased with how their interview went.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Well, no, so Palancar wasn't very happy with the way his interview, the way he was portrayed. Mark Erikser, Matt, were you in it? I didn't know you were in it.
I don't know that it was in it.
I know that some of your stuff, yeah.
and stuff is in it. Yeah.
A bunch of John's stuff was in it. Yeah, nobody was really pleased.
No.
I never asked Joellen or Ben about it.
No, Ben said publicly that he.
Oh yeah, at the dinner thing,
that-
he said that he wasn't super happy with it. That's right.
Yeah, that he was asked some very inappropriate questions and that he was very, very displeased with how it went down.
Yeah, the thing with Byron's daughter.
Yes.
Yeah. What else was? Anyway, I mean, like I don't know.
So
It's
Chris
just
asked, which cask was it?
which cask was what?
The one where he had a shovel and was going to bury.
Oh, that was San Francisco.
We assume. I
That's
don't think she elaborated on that.
The answer is we don't know, but we assume it's San Francisco.
I didn't see
There's
that.
There's a whole bunch of reasons why we assume it's San Francisco, but it's still just an assumption.
I've only seen I skimmed through that documentary. I haven't seen the whole, I didn't sit and watch the whole thing. I just skimmed and watched a little bit, and I didn't see that part. Matt, if you saw the whole thing, did she talk about cities specifically? Because I always thought it was, I thought it was vague.
No, you didn't. It was vague, and it was like you were like, and nothing.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I was operating under the premise that we knew it was San Francisco. I didn't know it was a vague thing.
No, it's a vague thing. We just assume.
Yeah, I mean,
Because that's where Sandy was.
yeah.
But
Right.
she was talking about being on a date with Byron, but she could have very easily went to her office in New York.
Book world, right?
Yeah, it could have been anywhere.
And there are conventions and things all around. So
Really? There's conventions everywhere?
yeah,
Is there? Let's see. Is there a time frame where Byron was working or dating Sandy in San Francisco? There is, but I don't remember what it is. They met at around the same time. God, William Stout said something about it in his episode on the podcast when they met, and then they were married after the book came out, right? Way after.
Samantha says she watched it at one of the premiere parties they did.
Oh, there was only one.
Yeah, it was 2 nights they showed it at one film.
Yeah, the one in
what?
Cleveland or wherever it was.
Yeah,
I just remember it was J.M. Renner and Kit, I think.
Renner didn't go. Whatever night John went, Renner didn't go. He couldn't go.
John
Gotcha.
had a camera going.
Huh?
I'm trying to remember
John had a camera.
watching the document. He had a camera.
Bootlegging the video.
Did he?
Yeah. I thought
Did
he
John
did.
pirate? Well, it's
thought
on.
he did.
It's
Well,
on. It's online. It's on a streaming service, but you have to have a link to get it.
Yeah.
I
And
remember
don't
JM
ask me.
said-
I do not have that link. I've never been given it.
Yeah.
I remember JM said that after that night, he had the movie and he was like, I could just walk out of here with it, but I didn't. Hence the what?
Oh, that's what. That's right.
That's
he had
not true. I'm reading the same thing Bradley's reading. It's not true.
What are you reading?
Caroline said that they stayed at the Fairmont, hence the F, which they never get into that.
Oh, yeah. I like that theory, but that's
I do, but they never. Yeah, they never.
That is a working theory. I don't know. I don't remember where everything. That's another thing. Once you've been doing this for so long, I haven't been doing this nearly as long as these two guys, and I'm already I know at one point I was convinced this was fact, but I don't know why.
Usually, when people start telling me about the thing, and then they're like, "And you said this and this," and I'm like, "Really? Did I say that?
Yeah.
Wow, that's cool.
Yeah.
What a great idea." I don't remember.
I have no idea. People quote the podcast to me, and I'm like, dude, that was 3-4 years ago, whatever. I have no, I don't listen to them after they're recorded.
Sunday, yes, that's 2 different stories. Once they met at, or I think that's where they ended up meeting the first time was at a book convention or something like that.
And their date,
the
They
night
saw
they
each other across the bar in a crowded room.
Yeah, so so William Stout was convinced that they met at Comic-Con because and he was like, it's the same night that I met my wife. But then I remember Sandy saying something about they met at a bar, not during Comic-Con, during something else.
Comic-Con in '81 in San Diego.
I guess, or at
Cool, I would have been there.
some Comic-Con, so, some comic convention.
No.
Because like Comic-Con is grouped now.
81, there's not Comic-Cons in every city.
I guess, yeah, that's true.
Yeah, there's not. I mean, there might be a couple. I don't even think there was one in New York.
But I remember like going down this rabbit hole once, and there was a Comic-Con that wasn't in San Diego, and it was in like the late 70s, early 80s. Like they moved it around or something. I could swear that happened, but I'm not 100% sure. I don't know.
Yeah.
Every Comic-Con ends in going to the bar. That's true.
San Diego.
So there's one in Chicago. There was one in Tokyo.
What? In 1980?
Yeah, 1981. There's one in Chicago and one in Tokyo.
Okay.
Oh.
Well, okay. Then the
Comic-Con?
Chicago one-
In
Yeah,
Chicago?
Comic-Con. Chicago Comic-Con, 1981. It was July 17th to the 19th.
That could be it.
Maybe that's where it was buried.
Yeah.
In Chicago. Did you just answer a question, Brad? Maybe Bradley just came up with some evidence.
There you go.
Hey, Bradley's sometimes valuable. It's very rare, but sometimes
I mean, like in 81, if Comic-Con was in Chicago and they met at Comic-Con, had their first date, and he left to bury a cast, and he buried the Chicago cask. That's the only one he would have been able to bury.
Okay.
Who knows?
Yeah.
And of course, if he was burying it in the dark, that might explain why he wasn't exactly sure where it was.
I don't know. There was a hot girl at the time. I don't know where I put that
I
stupid
wasn't
thing.
paying attention to that. I was like, gotta get back.
Cask isn't the only thing I've buried in Chicago.
Okay.
Come on, man. Miss Mendelsohn is a nice, upstanding.
It was.
She's
family friendly. There we go.
Yeah.
Had to go
Byron
there.
was a dapper man. I'm sure he had. Let's see.
Da-da-da-da.
Is Byron really big or is
He's
Brian
big.
really
Brian is a very tall gentleman.
Brian is not tall, but Brian is buff.
Okay.
Brian is like,
He's not buff. He's very fit, but he's not buff. He like for his size, like he does have a lot of muscle for his body size, I guess, but he's not like a buff dude.
Destiny's been making me watch TikTok, so when you were like, Brian's really thick, I was like, oh, yes, okay, never mind.
I didn't say thick.
You said he was very thick.
No, I didn't.
Yes, you did. You said he was thick.
Luckily, it's recorded, so we can.
We can go back
and
later.
watch it. But no, yeah, he's not a buff dude, but he's very fit, is what I said.
Oh, I thought you said thick.
No, but now we know what you think of Brian.
Yeah, Brian's an attractive man.
He's got a cast, man.
Yeah.
Thick with 2 C's.
Yes. But yeah, okay.
Speaking of Brian, for those that don't know, if you're into magic, I just had these on my desk, so I thought I'd show you. Brian's roommate in college is the guy that came up with this game. And Brian Zinn helped him come up with this card.
It was those 2 cards. There was like Peace Talks and something else, right?
Yeah,
Back it up a little bit.
this one is Vigilant Martyr. Let me
Vigilant
take it out.
Martyr and Peace Talks.
Yeah, Vigilant Martyr and Peace Talks. So I've got Peace Talks somewhere too. But completely random fun fact to know and love is Brian Zinn doesn't only find treasures, he creates them.
All right.
Watch those blow up on eBay now.
Yeah, they're on like 15 cents right now. I can't find any though. Like every time I go into a store and try to get one, I know, but like there's a thing about finding things in the wild. You know,
This is true. That's true.
So I always ask, and nobody's ever got any in stock. They're like,
But
"Oh,
I
it's
don't-
super common. Do you got any?" No.
Yeah.
Do me a favor. Slack me the name of the card. I'm just gonna get my brother-in-law to send it to me.
I'll send you
Okay.
one.
Oh no, he's gonna have tons.
Well, I bought 4.
Okay.
One for
Yeah.
myself,
Send
one
me
for
just slack
George.
me the names. Slack me the names.
You
Okay,
can't
I'll do
remember.
that.
You had a pen. Write down Peace Talks and Vigilant Martyr.
I got no pen. I got a computer. I suppose I could. But I'm
One of
trying to get
us
him
will
to
send
do
you.
the work. Okay?
Gotcha. I understand. So
Well,
is
just-
Matt? What,
Matt, wait, because I'm going to mail these to Brian, and I'm going to have him sign them, and then I will send you one.
Oh,
We're going to get
Awesome.
magic
Yes.
cards autographed by Brian Zinn.
Yes, I'm going to ask
Nice.
Brian if he'll send them to his roommate, his ex-roommate.
That'll be like
That's
3
cool.
things that I've got signed by Brian Zinn. He signed my book. I'll have these cards, and he signed a check for me once, and I kept the check because it has a windrose on it, and he was completely
Oh,
unaware.
nice.
Like, I really think Brian has engulfed himself in the secret and just doesn't like to admit it. Because when I pointed that out on his check, he was like, oh, I never noticed. And then when I pointed out the columns in his living room, he was like, oh, I never thought about that. Like, yeah, okay, whatever.
Okay, Brian. Whatever
Yeah.
you say, buddy.
Whatever you need to make you feel normal.
Mhm.
All right, so does Matt have to leave, or are we leaving? I think
basically
the
do
questions are
gotta
done.
go. I gotta go. Unless you got any more fun, silly questions, right? Isn't this silly question then?
Yeah, silly is probably a better word than stupid questions.
Stupid question. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Well,
Silly.
man, it was good to see you and talk. It's been a
I
while.
haven't talked to you in ages, brother.
Yeah, I've been absent, man. Life has been happening.
Yeah. Now that I'm back from Chicago, we all need to do this more often. This is fun.
Okay.
Yes, I miss my friends.
Yes.
I'm there.
All right, cool. Well, then I'll end the video, and everybody
Okay.
can go have a good Thanksgiving.
Yep.
Yes.
All right, we'll see you guys later. Have a good night.
Later.
Adios.